GT Holidays, South India's #1 travel brand.
GUVI, a vernacular edutech brand, skilling everyone everywhere.
Hello Sidharth, welcome to Kannada Plus.
Hi.
So first of all, I want to say that this is going to be a spoiler-filled discussion. So Sidharth, a lot of people think, including myself, that this is your best role so far.
Yeah.
And do you feel that this is your most fulfilling character?
Fulfilling, yeah, as of now, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I've never done such a big role
Yeah.
after switching from my normal days.
Yeah.
So yeah, very fulfilling.
Yeah.
Then for me as an actor, exploring the areas that I had gone
Yeah.
through was new.
Yeah.
So yeah, very fulfilling in that.
And it's also nice to see you doing this in your own voice, like even some of your recent roles. Because when Nammal came out, it was like 22 years back.
Yeah.
I was in the 10th grade, and it was a big deal for me, that movie. And later I found out that like somebody else had dubbed for you.
Yeah,
And I don't know if this is true, but the person who had dubbed for you, he was also doing a role.
No, that was not for me.
Oh, okay.
That was I think Shrijith dubbed
Yeah.
for me.
Okay.
Television actor. and
Okay.
he also
Not
did a
Midun
few
Ramesh. No.
films. No, Vishnu was dubbed by Midun Ramesh.
Oh, okay.
And someone else dubbed for Midun.
Yeah, that is what Jisjoy, I think.
Yeah, Jisjoy,
Jisjoy,
yeah.
I found that very odd. Like it's like multiple.
It happens. Only cinema, it happens, these kind of things.
Yeah. Looking at this role in Bramayugam, a lot of people are curious about a lot of things. And I mean, I made a list of, what all doubts I had and some of my friends had. I don't think we can cover everything, but, starting with, the food, like people are saying, is that real food, or how did they manage to, like, is it the involvement of the production design, production team, and of that period, Can you explain that a little bit? Yeah.
So it was basically, Rahul had this whole design that it's a very dirty design, kitchen.
Yeah.
Very nasty place.
Yeah.
No cleanliness. And so by the design of it itself, it was nasty enough.
Yeah.
And the cooking style also, he wanted some very rude, rough behavior. So he was like, he does this, he throws this.
Yeah.
He might walk around so carelessly and all that. So that all added to me playing that also. When I was walking and doing also very carelessly, taking this whole route, cutting it and, not even chopping.
Yeah.
Very rudely cutting it and throwing it as we are talking. The same with all the leaves and all that we throw.
Yeah.
So there is no specific, very beautiful way of cooking it. He wanted it as rude and as raw as possible.
Yeah.
So.
And also like all these vegetables and, the cuisine, what people don't use now is like something like that, right? I mean.
Yeah, it must be some root.
Yeah.
Some roots and.
There's no explanation for
yeah, it's some root and some leaf and.
Yeah. At one point, he even takes ants,
Yeah, that was for specifically for that.
He was preparing that feast.
No, that was like to make a few ingredients for his black magic.
Yeah.
While facing the Chatan.
Oh.
The things that he drops in the fire and.
Yeah.
How that he is brought into control.
Oh, okay.
So these ants and all that were an ingredient for creating those things.
Oh, okay.
That helped him in capturing.
Yeah.
The guy. So it's basically his. The sequence is like that. He's doing some. He's like tying it up.
Yeah.
As if some. It's like a. It's for the lamps or something.
Yeah.
So he's
that
making
those
of that
powder and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, and that he uses it while chanting the mantra and trying to overpower the Chatan.
Yeah.
So those are not food. Like,
okay.
Yeah.
So I think that is one characteristic of this guy, that he doesn't reveal. I think it was also shot like that. Your character, he doesn't reveal much. The initial stage. Even when he was telling that story of that flashback. That is also one doubt people have. Like, how come he didn't tell Arjun, this whole story? Like, was it to test him?
Yeah, I don't. We never thought into those details as of that. But when I think now, I feel you don't have to tell everything.
Yeah. It's better to keep some things ambiguous. For the fun. Yeah.
Not for the fun. He needed. There is no necessity for him to reveal those things to this chap.
Yeah.
There is a necessity in maybe revealing things about the other guy,
Yeah.
so that he gets a guy on board
Yeah.
to fight
Yeah.
the thing.
Yeah.
So maybe a little bit dark stuff.
Can you talk about like how they came up with your appearance? Because a lot of grime, dust, and
Yeah, yeah.
dirty.
So we had a look test and all that. The basic thing is while Rahul was giving me the narration of the story, he had a very clear idea about how each and every character looks and what they were doing. So they were all well defined. Even while he was narrating me the story for the first time.
Yeah.
So there was this thing that this guy is very dirty, and they don't show like whether he is having any personal hygiene kind of thing. So he's just like that, and the place is dirty. Everyone is like that.
Yeah.
There is no kind of personal hygiene. Just one dip in the water or something once in a while
Yeah.
is what they all do.
Yeah.
So we had done a lot of makeup things to make it maximum dirty. They had gone for a whole tan look for me, like tanner than this.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of it is concealed by like this black and white.
Yeah, and a lot of grays and
Yeah.
stuff on hair. We had a small implant for the teeth.
Oh, okay.
Small buck
Mm.
stuff. So that also enhanced the whole
Yeah,
character look and all that.
Yeah.
The way he smiled. There is no smile as it is, but
Yeah.
when he smiles, you get to see some kind of a weird
Wicked.
teeth. All that, yeah.
I think a lot of it contributed, no? Like, for example, the production design and
Yeah.
the black and white thing and your costume
Yeah.
kind of enhances. I think, like, when you have a very tactile environment, like, you can, I mean, actors can interact better with the, and, they can feel that they are in that world.
So that's how the whole kitchen was like that.
Yeah.
They had placed these things randomly here and there. And
Yeah.
while we are, the whole sequence plays out like while we are fetching this, and that activity is not disturbed by the sequence or the way he explains. Even while there's Arjun is rescued, like the opening, in the middle of the film, something like he makes him a medicine, an antidote for his stomach pain and all that, and that's when he starts revealing things to him.
Yeah.
So do you remember and all that?
Yeah.
So that's all imbibed in all those things are in an activity that makes that character like very 100% sure about where things are and everything plays and all the. So that thing really worked. That play.
Yeah.
In enhancing that character's thing.
Yeah. So when you first heard the script, like, what was your reaction? And like, did you have any doubts about, these details that?
I had a hell of a lot of doubts. Maybe since those doubts were there, we could come out with more precise about how the servant was.
Yeah.
It was just the servant.
Yeah.
There wasn't a name.
Yeah.
For this character, it's just called Velakaran.
Oh, okay.
So even he used to address in the sets like call the servant or call the Velakaran.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
And while he was giving me the narration stuff, as I said, he had a very precise idea about this guy.
Yeah.
And as we were playing it out also, it was falling into place. You don't have to really come out with things that pinpoint to a certain emotion or anything. You just be neutral. Don't give out too much of things and all that. So those all helped.
Yeah, I think he had to like keep some emotions inside, like without revealing too much, and especially when he's trying to conquer this Chatan, and the second time, I think like even when expressing fear, like the initial stage, okay, the first time that Chatan comes, Mammootty comes and holds you, he's worried that we can see, but the second time I think he was trying to put on this act, to distract him and to get the key and that itself is not revealed. Like it's like part by part.
Yeah. So that lies in the storytelling. Part where that characters are enhanced also. Like So as I said before, that well-written character is also like what it plays. To that actor who's playing that character. Like
Like one doubt many of us had was the part where he tells about his lineage, right? I mean, he is the illegitimate son. Like, but how come that Chatan doesn't know? You know, what is your theory on that?
Our theory on that was that he had a firewall. This guy couldn't
Okay.
preach.
Yeah, he was like doing this mantras and all that,
Yeah,
reciting.
kind of thing which he couldn't preach because he knows about each and every guy who's walking in.
Yeah,
Then why can't he know about this chap?
yeah,
So, but that's what our understanding was. He had a firewall. Okay.
yeah.
And
Yeah,
he
even
could-
this
he could
ants
successfully.
thing, yeah, that you mentioned, you know, it's like that's like a surprising
Uh,
because I thought it was for food, but then
yeah, but this was for this procedure. I mean, what do you call that?
black magic,
tantric
yeah,
event, yeah.
yeah. And also that whole thing about how the Chatan operates, right? Like, does he clone, I mean, you know, this body or, and he didn't,
He
yeah,
clons the body,
he clones the body, he
whichever he
creates
takes.
this whole
Yeah.
thing, yeah,
He enters the body and he utilizes
yeah,
that thing.
yeah,
So Rahul had this thing also, like there would be sounds of flies buzzing around whenever.
oh,
There was a detail. I think we heard a little bit in the theaters, but after that,
yeah,
I don't know, but there was a detail like that Rahul had worked on also.
yeah.
Yeah, like
Before revealing, you mean, like the body or
Yeah.
okay, okay,
A little bit, very small detail,
yeah,
but I don't know if it's there. I don't know if I'm saying the wrong thing also.
yeah.
Because I don't know if Rahul has come out with this. So it will be wrong on my part.
Yeah,
to say
because
that.
I felt that it was like one of those 80s horror movies, you know, like something like Invasion of the Body Snatchers, where
Uh-huh.
this aliens come from this other world and inhabit these bodies, you know,
Yeah.
cloning people, you know, that kind of thing.
This Chatan wanted a body to
Yeah.
survive and to operate through that.
Yeah.
So that was the main thing.
Yeah. There is also this thing about how time operates in this world, right? Like how Arjun kind of ages like rapidly. And was there also a suggestion that this cook also must have gone through that kind of?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
would have also gone through all this and he would have understood this.
Yeah.
Even when he sees Arjun for the first time and Arjun impresses
Yeah.
the landlord with a song,
Yeah.
this guy feels, okay, I'll have to take one more grave.
Yeah.
That's his issue.
Yeah.
When he says, you don't have to say anything rude, you can stay here.
Yeah.
His main intention is that, okay, I'll have to take one more grave.
Yeah.
And when I see him start playing the Bagida also, I'm confirming it.
Yeah.
This is going to go there.
Yeah.
Well, that's why he keeps saying that I'll have to dig a grave for you too.
Yeah.
So within that gap, if I can influence this guy
Yeah.
and get him over my side
Yeah.
and try and launch an attack and get this thing was
Mm.
revealed later on when he gave me the confidence saying that he could find the key.
Yeah.
We'll find the key. That is when I feel okay. There is a because until then I'm telling him we are in this never-ending loop.
Yeah.
We'll be in this never-ending loop forever.
Yeah. Even when he reveals, no, like that is actually the Chatan and not the, you know, real Kodumannpoti. Do you think that I don't know whether you had this discussion with Rahul because I mean he could have not said anything, just showed his expression. Okay, that is actually the Chatan, you know, without you know saying anything. But did you think that here the audiences would require that explanation? I mean, okay, obviously the person sitting downstairs is a Chatan, you know.
Yeah, yeah. We used to make fun of it. Actually, I'll say after telling him the whole story, he's asking me who's it. You know, like,
Something very obvious.
yeah. So we could have, okay, but yeah, that's the he wanted that impact.
Yeah.
That was a very cinematic approach. If you're talking about that sequence,
Yeah.
he had that cinematic thing. Rahul had that thing.
Yeah.
I want you to give it dramatically
Yeah.
in a very nice manner.
Yeah.
So those were the instructions.
Yeah. Even, you know, like, for example, there are some lines that he's saying that, you know, one can become a Brahmin through karma. The reason I asked is like, you know, social media these days, they have this tendency to equate depiction with endorsement, you know. They think that this movie is like glorifying.
Yeah.
Did you have any, like, even Rahul, you know?
No, because all this, those lines are contributing to the story.
Yeah, the character. Yeah.
Yeah, and when he says this, there is a reaction shot of mine where I'm looking at him.
Yeah.
That is okay. Now got it. Because when you come towards the end of the film, you understand why I would have looked at it.
Yeah.
You get it?
Yeah.
Like those kind of connections.
Yeah.
So that is a very important line, actually connecting to the story only, rather than having much more deeper readings to it. That line actually attributes to the story only.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is about that character, you know.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
just
that's
because the
what-
character is saying it, you
Yeah,
can't
and
say
he
that.
is actually this guy wanted
Yeah.
such a saying. So
Yeah.
he uses it in the end also.
Yeah.
So
It's like
that's the
everybody-
connection actually, rather
Yeah.
than a
Yeah. There is no character to, like, I would say, like, root for, you know, like everybody's got some, you know, like, I think, you know, the gray.
yeah.
The other thing I want to ask you is, like this diction, right? The way he's talking and, like, did you guys shoot it in sync sound or is
No,
it
no, no,
not
we-
sync sound?
we-
It's a proper, because
Yeah,
sometimes it felt like, you know, depending on the position of this character, you could feel that audio.
See, that's all praise to the sound guys.
Sound is, yeah.
Sound design, JD and Raja Krishna.
Yeah.
It's the way they mixed it and made you hear it in such a way.
Yeah.
Like it's from distance. It's from,
Yeah.
like, for us, it is the same dialogue.
I mean, did you guys consider shooting it in sync sound or no?
No, we didn't. I thought because mostly all of us are topless. So placing the mic and
Oh,
you know,
yeah. That wouldn't work.
yeah. So there is a technical
challenge,
challenge to it. So
Yeah.
we did.
I think a lot of the, you know, this lighting and all the shadows, I mean, that also kind of contributed to the, you know, the
Very
mystery of
much
the
to the
performance.
mystery.
Yeah.
Mystery, yeah.
Something like Marlon Brando in, you know, Apocalypse Now. He's coming out of the light, you know, your
Yeah,
character.
So there are a lot of great moments like that of Mammootty in this film,
Yeah.
and I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Like a fanboy.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
a lot of moments like that.
Yeah. The other interesting thing is, like, recently, like, I saw Vela.
Huh.
There was this element of the senior junior thing, you know. And again, that was a mysterious role.
Yeah, mysterious role again.
Like he was concealing some information that, you know. And the interesting thing about that is, when you compare both are not the same. Like, you know, you are not repeating the same performance, you know. And I found that very impressive. Like,
That's thank God.
so, like, how many people saw Vera? Like, I mean, is it coming out on, you know, OTT?
Must be.
Yeah.
Must be.
Yeah.
Must be.
Again, there was that Mammootty was someone involved in the
Yeah,
production.
involved in the thing,
Yeah.
yeah.
And that also must be a satisfying role for
Yeah,
you.
that was a very satisfying role. In the first place, I never done a
Police
cop in my
character.
life.
Yeah.
And I was directly getting into a senior cop. And there were just a few scenes, but those scenes were very nice.
Yeah.
There was something to play out.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was a new area. I enjoyed it.
You don't take up too many roles, right? I mean, you're very selective when it comes to.
Yeah, if there is something for us to, do, it would be interesting.
Yeah.
Do a role.
Yeah.
Something, any characters that we haven't done. But it should also have some,
Depth.
importance.
Yeah.
Something for us to do.
Yeah.
Something new, then I would be on it.
Yeah. I mean, as a filmmaker, also it should be helping you, right? Like when
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
doing a
yeah.
role, yeah.
How
Something
to
like this.
approach,
Yeah.
how can we bring in the thing.
Yeah.
So it does help. My background as a filmmaker does help in understanding the character, playing it out, the practicality involved while doing it, and all. It gives a lot of insights.
How did the experience of Bramayugam, help your perspective as a filmmaker? You know?
Oh, it did. It did a lot.
Yeah.
I would rather try to do a few raw films.
Okay. Yeah.
My approach has been like that.
Yeah.
So
Out of the
so-
box. Out of the box kind of.
yeah, this is a little bit
Yeah.
different for me. And working on this film, I had a great experience during the sound designing and all that, the music, the shoot. A lot of gimmickal stuff have been shot on the film. All those insights were really nice. Working with Jodish, he was a brilliant production designer.
Yeah.
He had done a great job. So working with him, working with Shainat, it did give a lot of insights.
Yeah. So when you made your directorial with Indra, like, why did you choose to remake your father's?
Oh, that's the thing was, I was struggling to make my first film. I was meeting a couple of people and all that at that time. I had an invite to remake this film. So at that time, remakes were quite popular in Malayalam. Few remakes had worked at the box office. So people were behind remakes. And I got this opportunity. And I saw the film. I thought that we could add a few elements and remake it. So we worked on the script. Unfortunately, I had a fallout with that production house. And suddenly it became my responsibility to do the film.
Oh.
So I had to do it by then. At the time, Sadanand, who was the producer of Salt and Pepper, had approached me for a film. I offered him this. He was okay with this. And then it happened. So a lot of stories behind one simple remake.
Yeah. So looking back at the journey, right? It's been like 10 years. There's a 10-year gap between your acting debut and your directorial debut. And looking back, how do you evaluate yourself as a actor and filmmaker? And did you have any initial that hiccup?
Yeah, definitely. Acting was very accidental for me. I had the invite again from David Kachapalli and Sri Kamal. So they had seen me. They were looking for casting options, one 20-year-old guy, and they had seen me at my sister's marriage. So they were interested and they asked me. And so even I was interested because it's a good acting offer. So I did it, and that's how Namal happened. It was very accidental. And it became a huge hit. I had to complete my studies. So I had to shuttle between studies and it didn't happen much. So I had to concentrate on finishing my degree. I finished that, did a few films, nothing much worked. So I went back to my first love, direction. I was working with Madhu Ambat and Jairaj before that, before my acting debut. So I went back to those things. I joined Priyadarshan, Priyan sir. I worked with him for 3 years. So at that time I had to take a complete break from here because I had to be 100% working. So and that was my greatest learning experience, filmmaking.
Yeah.
I did some 5-6 films with him. And then I broke away and wanted to make my own films.
Yeah.
And that's when this Nidra, this whole episode happened.
Oh, okay.
Finally, I made my film.
Yeah.
And that was a hell of a journey. Like, huge growth factor.
Yeah.
And then I concentrated on directing itself. I landed up in Chandratan Avadya. And then Vernacular. And then it just went on like that.
Yeah.
So people thought I was not interested in acting. So I was not thought about. And then slowly Vela and now up till Bramayugam.
Okay.
So that's my journey.
Just like your dad, I think there is that versatility. I mean, signs of that you can see in, like, you've done different genres, family and family drama, erotic thriller, and even this psychological, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Have you tried to? Were you able to do that, like incorporating lessons that you learned from your dad and mom, like in any of your films as an actor and filmmaker?
Incorporated, I don't know. As a filmmaker, I would have. But, acting wise, I don't think I would have discussed much with mother.
Oh, okay.
She took it very lightly. It wasn't a very serious thing for her.
Yeah, she was very effortless.
Yeah, she was like, really effortless. So even if you ask her, she's like, that you just do, man.
Yeah.
Do a good delivery of dialogue.
Yeah.
Break your dialogues or pause.
Yeah.
It's up to you.
Yeah.
It's very simple.
Yeah.
From Dad, I have taken a lot of cues on his filmmaking styles. Like, as I said, he uses a lot of montage in his film, like musical montages to explain a particular time, space, or
Emotion.
Yeah, emotion or a particular time window.
Yeah.
Like this time has passed, like that. Like he uses a lot of montage, like images and music and all that. So I've tried to catch that. His basic approach is films are always drama and human emotions. So I've tried to latch on to that also. So those are the cues I take from these two. Yeah.
Like when you're discussing this like long back, how he used to make films and the kind of challenges that he went through, how was that era for? Because he was also quite daring in terms of the genres that he explored, right? How was that?
You can't compare that era and this era at all.
Yeah, yeah. You think they had more freedom to explore? Or?
Yeah. They had. That is the sole reason why these kind of films came out from them also.
Yeah.
Like they were like Padmarajan or KG. All these people were daring enough, and people had only theaters to watch content.
Yeah.
That's a major difference.
Yeah.
Like
And there was
to the era now and to the era then.
Yeah. No social media also.
Yeah, that's what. No, you can't see any content.
Yeah.
Unless you go to the theater.
Yeah.
Television also was very less, mostly at that time.
Yeah.
Until late 80s, television was not this widespread.
Yeah.
And these people were making films at that time.
Yeah.
So,
that too on film, celluloid.
Yeah. So they had that freedom. People wanted different content.
Yeah.
It's not always the regular run-of-the-mill thing.
Yeah.
They were willing for all experiment. Like Swayamvaram was a big box office success.
Yeah.
It was a pure good film, very art house approach, very slow, long takes.
Yeah.
So that also had a good box office means. At that time, like content was only in the theaters.
Yeah.
So you had to come and watch it there. Now it's like it's on your palm.
Now also the problem is like I said earlier, there is this tendency to see those films through the lens of today, like the political lens, they try to overanalyze. Like Tevar Magan, for example. Like do you look at these readings now and think, what are these people saying? Like
that is there. Like we need to make films that read whenever.
Yeah.
Should have the same thing. Like if you look at all the classics, not adapted from books, I'm talking about other classics like Shining.
Yeah. Oh.
I mean, that's also
like
again from a book. That's from a book. But even if you look at Killer's Kiss.
Yeah, Clockwork Orange.
Again, Clockwork is based on a book.
Based on a book, but it's on his own vision.
Films that were made just for films, like not even adapted from books.
Yeah.
So these films are locked in time. They are always the same. That's the beauty of cinema also.
Yeah.
Dad also used to try and follow these things.
Yeah.
Like his Minaminingana Murumatam.
Yeah.
And all, or even Amaram.
Yeah.
It doesn't kind of age.
Yeah, they have that endurance thing.
Yeah.
You can come back to it and you can still find new things, Like in today's films, I think it's rarely you find that.
So even while I'm making films, I would like to apply these parameters.
Yeah.
And try and make a film because it's recorded and it is there. So it will be there.
Yeah.
For the time to come.
Yeah.
So now it's an era which is much better than those eras. Like lot of films from those eras are lost forever.
Yeah.
Like all the prints have gone.
Yeah.
They haven't been taken a copy of. So it's just gone.
Yeah.
Lot of films are like, but now it's not there. It's forever there.
Yeah.
So whenever you log in and see, you should have this. It shouldn't go outdated.
Yeah.
It might be perfect then, but now when you watch.
The relevance.
The relevance. I don't think Scarface, I think it's a film like that.
Yeah.
One of the best gangster films.
Yeah.
Still.
Better. Yeah. Like people tend to think the remake and the older version, like which one is better. Obviously, there's more violence.
Like Gangs of Wasseypur.
Yeah.
It's a very fresh film.
Yeah. Classical quality to it.
Yes. Yeah. So I think we should be making films like that. I think Bramayugam would be a film like that.
I think so. It's kind of in 10 years, I think people still will be talking about it.
Yes.
One thing I feel very sad about is like how these old classics, people are not doing it in 4K, restoring. Like even Ramu Kariyat's films. I was like wondering, like, where can I find the great prints of
NFA is doing a great work in preserving all these kind of films.
Yeah.
I think they've all, as it is saved, all these panorama films all the panorama films that went in like from the 60s or like from when it started.
Yeah.
I think they have preserved all those prints, and again, they are preserving all these prints for the future use. But there are a lot that are lost.
Yeah, they need to put out more. We need to see
great effort.
Budget. That is also a factor. Yeah.
But people are also talking regarding all these. I keep in touch with a few producers my dad had worked with. They were like real close family friends. So I used to keep in touch with them. So some of them try and talk, we should bring out that film, we should bring
Yeah.
out this film.
Yeah.
So I said, even for that you need to, try and make a short film. For that budget you need to bring out this thing. So
Yeah.
what are you planning? So yeah, people are talking, thinking about the possibilities.
Yeah.
There might be some, like Spadigam had a run.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so they might come out with
Yeah,
it.
because considering how like Malayalam cinema is being, getting noticed from other parts of India. I mean, I'm telling people, like recently I saw Varavelpu again, and I was thinking everyone should see these movies. Like it's like a treasure trove of movies from 80s and
Yeah, so all these Satyananda God films.
Yeah. So what are the challenges that you are going through as a filmmaker now to get? I mean, I'm like assuming that you're still, finding it difficult to get funding and.
Yeah, but I think that phase has changed. I used to have that
Used to
phase.
have, yeah.
But I think that phase has changed after my Chadaram and all. That phase has changed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, really well.
Yeah.
So I just need to zero in on one particular thing and go ahead with it.
Yeah.
There's this huge churning that is happening in Malayalam cinema right now.
Yeah.
With the audience also.
Yeah.
They're willing to accept any kind of experimentation as long as it's entertaining.
Yeah.
So I need to zero in on what kind of thing I need to go in for.
Yeah.
That's up to me.
Yeah.
The other factors have changed, thankfully.
Yeah. So you're doing one more film with Mammootty, Bazooka.
Bazooka, yeah.
What can you tell us about that?
Bazooka is a thriller,
Yeah.
gaming backdrop.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And GVM is there in it, Gautam
Yeah.
Masthamenu.
Yeah.
So my character is a cop working under him. I again play a cop,
Oh, okay.
but this time a younger cop.
Oh, different.
Without any grace. Yeah. So that's regarding Bazooka.
Yeah. And what about directing? Like, have you?
Directing, I've pitched a few ideas with a few actors
Yeah.
here and there. I need to get to them and finalize on which are the dates and all that, and then finally kick it off. Maybe late in the year, this year, I might start something.
Nice. I must tell you that Varnyatanashing is one of my favorite. I keep revisiting it. Like, I love that genre.
That's
whole
satire.
thing. So anyway, all the best. Thank you for this lovely conversation.
Thank you.
GT Holidays, South India's #1 travel brand.
GUVI, a vernacular edutech brand, skilling everyone everywhere.